Start supine, lying on our backs. So if you want to add a little extra cushioning underneath you with a blanket, to feel free to go for that. We'll start with a centering and some somatic movements down on the floor. To settle down on your back, to consider softening your gaze, or if preferred, allowing your eyes to. As always, let's begin by just noticing inward. Maybe moving awareness from the external environment. Sometimes the mind just wants to check and make sure all is as it should be. And drawing inside. Coming inside in a welcoming way to notice and acknowledge whatever might be arising for you. Here, noticing the condition of the physical body and all of its systems. Here, noticing the level and quality of your energy. The state of mind and emotion. Alert to the quality of witnessing. The ease or challenge to get quiet enough to just notice. Noticing without narrative. Like a large silent lens looking down upon you. A lens that beholds you just as you are. And even in this moment, to just notice what it feels like, or imagine what it might feel like, to just notice without a story. To allow yourself to be held in a non-judgmental lens of awareness. Everything okay, just as it is. Letting this lens expand wide enough to embrace your heart and your spirit. As you connect into, for a moment, what it is that you value most. Maybe your sense of purpose. Or your relationship or felt connection to life as a whole. And we remember here that we're looking on from that non-judgmental place of witness. This lens can see all parts of self, the body, our energy, our mind, our emotions, our mood, our heart, our spirit. So we take a momentary snapshot, alert to all these pieces, and alert to your starting point for practice this morning. And as you hold this snapshot in mind, to also begin to embrace a felt sense of breath. Imagine just riding upon the wave of breath, following its rise and its fall. Sensing into its rhythm without needing to change or control it in any way. And as always, we want to keep the breath comfortable. We can do so by consciously slowing down and regulating the breath. So more important than taking deep breaths is this idea of taking less breaths within a minute. So we want to find this comfortably smooth inhale that doesn't feel too much. And a comfortably smooth exhale that we complete without forcing. I'm going to play with the breath in a slightly different way this morning, and we can do so right from the position you're in. I'd like you to take an inhale as you're ready, and it's a very brief pause. So you inhale, pause, and then take another sip in, and then exhale with an ah. Exhale until you're empty. When empty, inhale again, pause. Take another sip in and exhale, E. Continue the E until you're empty. When empty, inhale, pause. Another little sip in, and then I. And then continuing through the vowel sound. In the same way, you'll inhale when ready, pause briefly, another small sip in, and then whatever vowel sound you're on. So take your time. When you're done, then please don't rush. Complete your vowel signs. No Y or W today. You just let go, pause, and continue to feel and follow breath. As you lie here, your legs can be bent or straight, so I want you to be comfortable, back comfortable. If a cushion is needed beneath knees, that's welcome. I'm going to encourage you to make sure that you have room to raise your arm either toward the sky or to the floor behind the head. So you want to stay in a comfort zone with the shoulder joints. And we'll continue with some movement. So when ready to inhale and raise the right arm up as head turns left. And on the exhale, the arm comes down, the head finds center. Let's work the same side 2 more times. So following the breath, the arm rises, the head turns away from the arm. And at the same time, the arm and the head return to their starting point. And when you've finished a total of 3, to bring the arm, head, neck to stillness. And take a moment to compare right to left. To begin to fine-tune awareness, to notice changes that are created by simple as well as complex movement. We'll continue when ready after observing with the same inhaling left arm now, head turning right. And exhaling down, head to center. Again, it's a total of 3 for this side. And when you're done, to let it relax, to pause a moment, and again feel into both sides. And after a moment of observation, if the legs are straight, I'm going to ask you to bend them so the feet are on the floor, resting about hip width apart. Starting with the arms alongside the body. And just settle in for a moment. Draw right knee into chest, hook the hand underneath the right knee, and bring the left hand to rest behind. So the invitation is to move through this with awareness. And I'm going to give you some notes or pointers as we go through. So here, as we exhale, pull the right knee in close and raise the left elbow toward the knee and sense how we're creating a contraction in the front body. And then release it very slowly. So very somatic-like. We're releasing it slowly, feeling the release, and then softening completely. You can even let the foot go and let the arm go. And take a moment to let it go. So I learned a new word in a workshop yesterday called pandiculation, and I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I'll explain the term as we go here. Let's bring the right hand behind the head. Bring the left hand underneath the left knee. So the first part is a contracting of a muscle or a muscle group. And we do this as we exhale, drawing left elbow, right elbow, left toward each other, creating a full contraction in the front body. And then it's the slow release that's essential. With awareness, trying to feel the muscles as they release, as the head comes down, the knee moves away, foot to floor, both arms releasing to the side body, and rest. And pause a moment. And we're going to go again, doing a total of 3 to each side, going slowly. So right knee, right hand under knee, left hand behind the head. Let's go for the front body contraction, drawing knee and head, elbow toward each other. Slow release, paying attention, feeling as you come out. And then create that total release. Check in the release, see how it feels. And then we'll continue left hand under left knee, right hand behind the head. Contracting front body, right elbow to left knee. And then slowly coming out of it. And completely release and soften. A nice thing to note before going in for the last one on each side is that you can adjust the movement in whatever way you want to make it feel better for your body. And I'll give some examples as we go this next time. So right hand under right knee, right arm is straight, left hand underneath the head. Now, as you exhale, pulling the knee in, will you pull the knee in over the chest and belly out to the side? Will that left elbow reach to the knee, beyond the knee, or before the knee? What works best to get that feeling of contraction? And then you feel the contraction before you slowly feel the release of the contraction. Eventually letting go of head and leg and completely relaxing. Pause a moment, take a breath. Let the right hand come behind the head when you're ready. Left fingers under left knee. Left arm is straight. Let's go. On exhale, contracting, right elbow moving in the direction of the knee in the way that feels helpful to you. Feel that contraction. And then release in very, very slow motion. So the idea here in this movement, relax the arms and everything completely, is that when we do a movement where we contract fully, the natural tendency of the muscle is to completely relax. So that movement really worked core muscles. Let's experiment with it in a different way. And this might be familiar to some of us when we wake up in the morning. So let the legs straighten for a moment. And we're going to adjust the right foot so the toes are pointing to the ceiling. Push out through the heel, traction that right leg as much as you can, and then soften it slowly, completely feeling it. And then let the leg, the whole body be really passive. So this is the thing that we might do naturally in the morning. So we'll do the same with the left, foot's flexed, push through the heel, full contraction of the leg, and then a mindful, slow release of it, no rush to let it go, and then let it go. And the key to this is the slow release, because if we do a quick release, it doesn't make the body-brain connection in the same way. So let's go again with the right foot, toes pointing to sky. Let's bring the opposite arm in. Take the left arm overhead, reach with the left arm, push through the right heel, feel the contraction first, and then very slowly release, paying attention to what the body does as you let it go. When ready, take the right arm overhead, co-contract right arm and left leg, reach, get your optimal length here, and then feel as you unwind, feel as you let it go completely, eventually returning the arm to the side. Let's widen the feet so heels rest about mat width apart. The arms can open above T position so the body rests like a large letter X. And first, let's wake up the whole X, reaching through both arms, pressing out through both heels. Try to sense the diagonal, right to left, left to right, where the diagonal meets in the core. When you're ready, exhale, soften slowly, and then fully relax. Let's engage right arm, left leg, then left arm, right leg, both diagonals engaged, breathe. And when ready, exhale, slow release, let it soften, let it go, let it relax. I invite you to bring the legs back toward each other. We're going to continue belly down. So I welcome you to spin over onto your abdomen. And draw the body into a nice straight line. Let your right arm be at your side. Bend your left arm, half crocodile. Your head is turned to look toward the left elbow. This is a familiar movement, but we're going to do it with the same awareness. We're going to lift the left elbow, head and hands stay down. Lift the left elbow as high as you can, full contraction. And then it's a very slow release. Feeling the sensations as that left arm comes all the way down. And when it's down, soften. Let's do 3, same thing, 2 more. Inhale when ready. Feel the contraction in the shoulder joint. And then a very slow, mindful, connected release. So we want to really avoid just plopping or quickly releasing here. So in your own time, 1 more. And when that one is done, let it relax. I'd like you to sense the position of the head. So this is that 2-part lift. So the first thing is on inhale, the nose is pointing forward as the head floats up. And then we turn the head a little bit as if we were trying to look over the shoulder. And then the head comes slowly down. And when the head is down, that softening throughout the whole body. Try to notice everything that becomes engaged in the process of lifting the head. So when you're ready, inhale, head floats up and turns to look over the left shoulder. And paying attention to what starts to release, what starts to soften as you take the head slowly down. And when it's down, let it relax. And then we'll repeat it again. Inhale, head floats up, looks over the shoulder, and then slow, gradual release of the head. When the head is down, everything voluntarily softens. For the next movement, the head and arm are connected. We work with them as one unit. We'll be lifting arm and head and the opposite leg and the right leg. So on inhale, arm, head, and right leg float up. And we're watching again as we control the release. So this is crucial. Control the release down and then soften. And then we'll do it in the same way 2 more times. On your in breath, it all floats up, full contraction. And then mindful and slow release. Developing strength and deeper mind-body connection here. Final time, when you're ready, inhale, float it up. And slow and mindful release. When you're done, let it relax. Release both the head and arms into any position that feels comfortable. And you might even consider turning the head to the opposite side because that's where we'll be going in just a moment. Adjust the body, making sure it still feels like it's in one straight line. Bring the right arm forward with hand below the cheek. Remember here, the very first movement in the sequence is the raising of the elbow. So inhale, right elbow rises, head and hands stay down, and it's a slow, gradual release. Taking the elbow all the way down, and when it's down, soften. And 2 more times. Inhale, slow lift, feeling into that shoulder joint. Feeling the release as you slowly lower. And when you're lowered, soften. And last time, take your time with it. Be curious. Adapt for your unique needs. And when that elbow finally grounds for the third time, you stop. Take a whole body scan. And here we get that two-part head lift. So you begin by inhale, floating the head up, and then turning to look over the right shoulder. And then exhale, slow and controlled. Take it down. And when it's down, soften everything. As much as you can let go, let go. And then two more times. Some might notice a different range of motion on this side, a different level or quality of sensation. So we're going for a total of 3. And eventually, when that head is down the last time, soften. And the last movement in the sequence will be the arm, head, and opposite leg. So this time, left leg. So when you're ready, inhale, arm, head, and left leg rise. Exhale, lower head and hands staying connected and softening. 2 more times, inhaling, lifting. Exhale, lower and soften. Feeling the control in the trunk. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower, release and soften. Adjust head and arms comfortably, placing hands in full crocodile when ready, with forehead resting on the back of it. I'll offer a couple of options here. So first option is inhale, float the head up and hold here. Those who might enjoy a little bit more back extension, a little more back bend, bring elbows toward waist onto forearms in Sphinx. And we'll just pause. So the invitation is to keep the pelvis on the ground here. Sense a lift through the sternum, like the sternum was drawing away from the navel. Chin is slightly down, so the back of the neck isn't compressed. And we'll just pause here. Deep inhale, full exhale. Let's stay 2 up to 3 more breaths. When you're done, maybe widening the space between the elbows, slowly lowering down, releasing arms and head comfortably, and see how soft you can get, how relaxed you can get. Deep inhale, full exhale. From here, we'll press to table. So in your time, hands move beneath the shoulders. Let's rise up to table. And from table, slowly sink back in slow motion. Sink back toward your child. Lowering buttocks as close to the heels as feels comfortable. And then allowing the upper body to drape toward the floor. Elbows can bend in toward the side body to relax the shoulders. Let attention travel into the back lungs and back ribs as breath fully and completely fills the back body. Two more breaths here. When you're done, on inhale, lift up to table. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, pelvis spins or spills toward the floor as you lift into cow pose. Exhale, tail curls under as you round into cat pose. Inhale, front of the pelvis spills toward the ground as you open into cow pose. Exhale again, slowly round into cat pose. And last time, spilling the pelvis toward the floor, tail rising, belly sinking, shoulders back, head up slightly. Soften the jaw. Take your tongue and run it around the mouth from cheek beneath lip to other cheek beneath other lip. Like 2 or 3 circles in each direction. And when done, just let the jaw, the whole face relax. Let's inhale here. And on exhale, curl the toes, press the hips up and back, bent knee, down dog. And once the hips are up in the sky, gently rock them a little side to side. And then center the tailbone, press the tailbone up and back. Keep your right knee bent, lower left heel toward the floor. And then in slow motion, reverse position. Bend the left knee, lower the right heel toward the floor. And go back and forth until you've stretched into the leg 3 times each side. And when you're done, rising high onto 10 toes before gently releasing both heels down, tail drawn up and back for 2 to 3 more breaths. Follow breath, rise and fall. And when those breaths are done, feet can move toward hands to find ragdoll position. Some lengthening spine here to take care of any concerns of the spine. Knees are bent, arms like wings. Ground those feet and inhale, rise up, bringing arms up. And as you exhale, bend these hips, push back, arms lower to shoulder height, sit in a chair. On the inhale, rise out of the chair, bring the arms up, add a gentle back bend. Exhale, knees bend, hips reach back, settle your seat toward an imaginary chair. Inhale, press back up. Maybe a little back bend. Let's go 2 more times, 2 more chair poses. Exhale, sit. Inhale, rise up. Here's our hold. So let's exhale, sit. Focus on sternum away from belly. Avoid letting that upper back round. Shoulders down the back, heart lifted. It's not about how deep. So just find a place of not too much, not too little. Round the feet, engage the legs, and stay for up to 3 more breaths. When those breaths are done, inhale, rise up. Add that gentle back bend. And when ready, arms like wings. Hands move in front of the chest, prayer position. Pause a moment. Let thumbs rest on the sternum. Feel the beat of your heart. And take a snapshot of whatever is arising within. When ready, arms can release. I'd like to welcome you to step up toward the front of your mat. We'll keep the right foot forward, take a nice step back with left foot, widen the feet for stability in your stance. but we try to orient the whole trunk facing forward. We'll begin this morning with right hand on right hip, left arm hanging at the side. So as we move into warrior on inhale, we'll sweep the left arm forward and up. Turn your head away from the left arm. So the left arm comes forward and up. It's the same thing we were doing lying down. As you exhale, straighten the leg, arm down, head forward. 3 times total. Inhale, as you come into warrior, turn the head away from the left arm. Exhale, release it to center, and we'll hold here. So as you inhale, knee over ankle, arm comes up, head turns right. Ground here, slowly bring the head forward again. Let the left shoulder relax. You might even enjoy just placing the left hand on the back of the head. If you do hand on head, press the elbow back a little, getting a little extra opening in the pec, in the chest. Feet are grounded, legs engaged. Let's stay for 3. Deep inhale, full exhale, stay 2. When you're ready, inhale, straight leg. Exhale, release the arm. Both hands find hips here. And we nudge the right hip slightly back. Can you lift the toes of the front foot, grounding through the ball of the foot? Keep the ball grounded, let the toes soften. Inhale, lengthen out of hips, and exhale, spilling the pelvic bowl forward as we hinge toward halfway. You might not get there. Inhale, back up. Exhale, fold. Maybe it opens a little each time you come in. Inhale, back out. Third one will hold. So right hip drawing back. Exhale, hinge. Come to that place of not too much, not too little. Hands can remain on hips or move to leg. Big caution here is the front knee. Are you hyperextending, pressing into it? Can you relax it a little and tighten the leg muscle? Nice full breaths. Let's hold for up to 3 more. Take all the time you need. When your breaths are done with a long spine, inhale, come up. Once up, bend that front knee a little. Take the left foot in a little bit, so hop it in a little. We're going to go right to a balancing pose here. Weight transfers onto the right leg as we glide the left foot forward and up. Arms can also rise up. Settle your eyes on your focal point. Follow breath. And let's stay for up to 3 more breaths. When your breaths are done, the arms and the leg can release. Land on both feet, maybe march a little to soften, and then take that moment to pause. To take that internal glimpse at what's arising within the body. We'll continue here with left foot forward, right leg back. Adjusting stance for stability. Here, left hand is on hip, right arm is at the side. And we'll do the turning of the head as we did on the other side. So on inhale, left knee over ankle, right arm forward and up, head turns away from the arm. Exhale, arm down, head forward, legs straighten. 2 more times. Inhale in as the arm comes forward, head turn. Exhale, release out. Third one will hold. So inhale, knee over ankle, arm forward and up, head turned left. Feel this for a moment. And then allow the head to find center again. Heart's lifted, feet are grounded, legs engaged for up to 3 more breaths. Take all the time you need. When breaths are done, let the exhale take you out. Hands find hips. Left hip draws back, firm in the tummy as we exhale and seek or move toward half fold. And then inhale back out of it. Again, mindful of the front knee, not locked, soft, and then engaged. Exhale, half fold. Inhale, come up. And now we fold for a hold. Exhale, half fold. You choose where to work the hands, taking care of that left knee. Nice full breaths. And let's stay for up to 3 more breaths. Sternum drawn away from the navel, shoulders moving down the back. Really find that upper body length. When you're done, we slowly come up. We bend the forward knee, allowing the right foot to step in a little. We start to ground through that left foot for balance. So we slowly begin to glide the right knee forward and up. Maybe the arms come up. Focal point and presence. Soften shoulders. Maybe smile. Up to 3 more breaths. And 2. When you're ready, on an exhale, slowly come down. Once down, march it out a little. And once you've marched it out a little, land the feet and gently twist side to side. And you might even let that back hand touch the back body as it comes back. And slowing it down. And eventually coming to stillness. And we'll start with the feet at hip. So once feet are to hip width, right hand on hip, left arm rising overhead. Round the feet, lengthen out of the waist. Here we remember we can displace the hips a little left as we bend to the right. And inhale back out. And again, as you're ready, exhale. Crescent moon. Inhale back out. Third crescent moon will hold. We're going to add a little neck shoulder work here. So turning the head now slowly toward the top arm, toward the left arm. And then with the breath, exhale, lower the arm, turn the head down toward the right foot. There's no movement in the trunk. It's all shoulder and neck. Inhale the arm up, head turns up toward the arm. Exhale, arm down, head looks down to the right side. And last time, inhale, arm goes up, gaze up. Pause here, breathe. Stay with it for up to 2 more breaths. When your breaths are done, arm down, gaze down, and then lift the trunk up. Pause, release arms to side. Fix your gaze or close the eyes. Please notice the whole left side of the body. And then the right side. How are they the same? How are they different? We'll balance things out with left hand touching left thigh, right arm rising up, reach up. And as you exhale, hips displace a little to the right as you lean left. Gaze goes up toward the right arm. And movement now. Exhale, right arm down, and the head looks down toward the left toe. Inhale, arm up, and the gaze goes up. Exhale, arm comes down, gaze goes down. And last time for a hold, inhale, arm up, gaze up, hold. Find breath, up to 3 more breaths. Whenever your breaths are done, arm will come down, gaze goes down, and then slowly rise up. Once up, pause. Take a moment to feel into the left and right sides of the body. And from here, half salutation. So on inhale, sweep it up, stretch up, look up. Exhale, soften knees, hinge from hips, swan dive, fold forward. Halfway lift on the inhale. Fold again on the exhale. Ground the feet, arms like wings. Inhale, bring it all the way up, stretch up, look up. And exhale, palms together, let hands come to heart. So we're going to repeat the half salute, adding a twist on each side. So when ready, inhale, arms rise again. Bending knees as you exhale and swan dive, fold forward. Bring right hand to left leg, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And now inhale, left arm up. So right hand is on left leg. The right knee is bent, the left leg is straight, and we find a twist. Gaze can be forward, up, or down. See what feels best for your neck. Hang on up to 2 more breaths. When you're done, exhale, unwind. Bring left hand to right leg, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, twist, right arm to sky. Pause and breathe. This time the right leg straightens, the left knee bends, up to 2 more. When your breaths are done, exhale, unwind, both knees bent, let the body hang. And on an inhale, lengthen as you rise up, stretch up and look up, hands together. And exhale, hands move down to the heart. Pausing a moment, feeling the breath. And then as ready to allow eyes to open, arms release. We're going to step up toward the front of the mat. Again, feet at hip width. We will be transitioning to our backs. So when you're ready, inhale, sweep up. Knees bend, exhale, swan dive, fold. Halfway lift on inhale. Knees bend a lot, hands to floor or blocks. Let's step it back first to table. From table back into child pose. 3 breaths in child pose. And when ready, rising again to table pose. We're going to move into sunbird pose. We'll move in and out, holding the 3rd set. So we'll begin with the right arm, left leg. Try to imagine those cups of tea on sacrum and between the shoulder blades. We're trying to keep the pelvis and the shoulder girdle level. So on in breath, right arm forward, left leg behind. Exhale, hand and knee to mat. Inhale, left arm, right leg extend. Exhale, hand and knee to mat. Right arm, left leg on. Release, exhale. Left arm, right leg on inhale. Release on exhale. Here's the hold. So as you're ready, inhale, right arm, left leg. Foot is flexed. Palm of hand points toward the midline of your mat. So it's not palm down, it's palm pointing out. Press through the heel, maybe spread fingers and toes for up to 3 more breaths. Paying attention to the cues of the body. When your breaths are done, hand and knee to mat. For child or puppy stretch. So puppy stretch, hands come way forward, hips lift, chest sinks. 2 breaths in child or puppy. Those of you who chose puppy will go to child first to release the back bend. And eventually we will all rise again to table pose to prepare to hold same pose on the other side. So as ready, left arm forward, right leg behind, foot is flexed, press through the heel, firming the tummy and staying. Up to 3 more breaths. And when those breaths are done, hand and knee to mat. Again, you might choose puppy or go right to child. So for puppy, wrists way forward to shoulders, chest sinking in. For those who chose puppy, another breath before child. And from child, we are all going to transition onto our backs. And from the back lying position, please have knees bent, feet on the floor. And to please also have a block available. If you don't have a block, a wide novel with an elastic on it would work. We're going to place the block in between the thighs. And we want to hold the block, but not like a vice grip. It's firm, but not aggressive. And with the block between the legs, come into some soft pelvic tilts. Inhale, the lower back arches away from the earth. And exhale, the lower spine returns to the ground. Nice and slow, back and forth with the breath. The next time you exhale and flatten the back to the floor, lift just a third of the spine, so a third of a bridge. And from that third, lower. Inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten, lift a third. Inhale, lower. And arch. Exhale, flatten and lift a third. Inhale when ready, lower and arch. Now exhale, flatten and lift about halfway up. Inhale, lower and arch. So 2 more halfway. And when you're done with the 2 more halfway up, we're going to do 3 into the full pose. So we'll inhale, arch, exhale, flatten, and lift all the way into bridge. Inhale, lower, and arch. And the last time you lift into bridge, it's your hold. And if 3 feel too many, if this has felt like enough already, you come to your hold when you're ready. And during the hold, I'm going to ask you to try to reach up and grab that block and then move the block onto your sacrum. So we're going to stay in bridge a little bit and then we'll experiment with legs up. So once you've moved the block, it's under the sacrum, you can wiggle it. It does not need to be in the highest position. So keep it comfortable. Let the arms relax, let the shoulders relax. And we'll spend up to 4 breaths here and then we'll take the legs up. So about 4 breaths in bridge. When 4 breaths are done, bend one knee, float the foot up, make sure the block is stable. Lift the other foot up, checking again to see if the block is stable. Once the block is stable, feet flex, heels to sky, into Viparita Karani, our legs up position. Important here to self-monitor, to please note that if you have unmanaged high blood pressure, you would not want to hold this pose. So you might choose to bring the feet down and come into a supine bound angle or any other supine pose that you'd like. And we just monitor here. Notice what's going on with breath. If any kind of discomfort arises, any dizziness, it would be a message to release. We're just going to experiment with holding for a little while. Paying attention to each inhale, each exhale. Up to 3 more breaths. When you're done, to let the knees bend and please return 1 foot at a time to the floor. I'm going to ask you to pause and bridge again. Let the arms rest, whole body rest. Can you be really soft in bridge? Let the block hold you. Need to use the leg. Up to 3 more breaths in bridge. The invitation when you're done is to remove the block, holding the bridge after you've removed the block. And then with full attention and slowly, take the spine all the way down. And when the spine reaches ground, to relax totally. If it's comfortable to straighten legs, go for that. If not, adjust the legs for comfort. And we take a moment to just drop into Shavasana and to feel. We'll continue with our final twist. So arms moving toward T, knees bending, feet to floor. We'll do a displacement of the hips here. So once your feet are on the floor, lift the hips and move them several inches to the left.
Feet follow, so you might walk the feet back in or lift the knees in to check. And we'll lower right and turn the head left. And we adjust. Knees up or down. Tuck the hip under a little bit more to get a more neutral pelvis. Can feel really good for the back. So find your way into it in a way that feels honoring of your body. And each exhale becomes a release, an opportunity to let go. Two, three more breaths on this side. When done, inhale, center, realigning hips to neutral, taking a momentary pause to check in, to feel. And then in your own time, hips displace right, and the knees move to the left. And you optimize. We cultivate interoceptive awareness. You might ask, why is that so important? Our bodies are very sensitive sensory instruments. Our responses to life tend to appear as sensation before they're translated into form. By cultivating good interoceptive awareness, we offer ourselves the opportunity to identify the things that dysregulate us, that lead us to stress, tension, anger, fear. And in the noticing, we have the opportunity to choose a response, to dive into the challenging emotion, or to bring forward a practice to manage. It's not about repressing, it's about acknowledging and making choices that serve us well. To bring ourselves into regulation before we respond to something from an agitated. It helps us to ride the waves of life with greater success, because we're not continuously being brought into reactivity. Actually change reactivity into curiosity, an opportunity of exploration, open doors to new or different understanding. And up to three more breaths here. When those breaths are done, to inhale to center. Realign the hips to neutral.
Eventually come knees to chest, offering yourself a hug before laying out in Shavasana for final relaxation. Adjusting the body for ease, comfort, maybe blankets, additional clothing. Or fully settling, take a nice long stretch. The arms can be at the side or overhead. To feel the contraction briefly and then mindfully let it go. Slowly let it go. And in the letting go, return focus to breath. Maybe sense the slight engagement of body and nervous system as you inhale. And the subtle softening and release of nervous system and body on the exhale. You might even choose here to exaggerate the response of the exhale, the letting go that naturally occurs on the exhale. Here, each exhale allows you to soften and to relax more fully. Each exhale, letting go and letting go and letting. how you naturally want to stretch and how that stretch will soften. Pay attention to the of that natural stretch. And if you'd like, in your own time, to find your way to a comfortable seated posture with your like to close this morning with a short and possibly familiar poem to some of you that I just think is a nice reminder for these times. It's called The Piece of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night, the least sound and fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought or greed. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world, and I am free. For a time I rest in the grace of the world. Gratitude for one another, for this practice, for all beings everywhere. Let's close our time chanting Om. Om Shanti, 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 peace. Wishing you all a delightful day, a delightful weekend. Namaste. Thanks for being here again on a Friday. Thank you all.